Kay here from Taunton. I'm back to show you what I did with the design team package I received from Handy Hippo a little while ago. Sorry for the delay in getting back to you, but life has been what it is and it's kept me quite busy. I'll just do a quick reminder of what I had. I had the Sizzex embossing folders with the belly band potential there. I had the BoBunny ephemera pack, which I was really quite excited about, which held all of these things that I've got here on my little white area. The silk flowers, buttons, ribbon, stamps, and there are actually 4 stamps there. I did talk about this previously. Paper clips, buttons, everything you could possibly want, and then a selection of papers and card and cutouts. There was also a lovely tag which was partially decorated. There are words and so on that you can use to make your cards with. And I also was sent this really lovely pearlised card, which has been an absolute delight to work with. It's double-sided. There is the colour throughout the card. There's no whiteness when you score the top. In with the embossing folders came one of the little, I'm looking for it, blocks that allows you to just scrub around on your card and take the top surface off. It didn't work with this because the colour is impregnated all the way through the card, but for other paper or card it would still do the trick nicely. So, you know, all in all, I was really quite excited about using this, and I'm going to go on to show you now what I've done with what I've used. This actually is what is left, having made up the plaque and 5 cards, so you can tell that it really does go the distance. I'll keep these here within hand reach and then move this out of the way. The ribbon I'm showing you here is the Italian Options organza ribbon sold by Handy Hippo, and I can only praise it. It is absolutely gorgeous to work with. It makes beautiful bows, it doesn't fray, it doesn't stretch out of shape, and I had this in a design team package some time ago and I am still using it for Handy Hippo packaging projects. I also have the 6x6 white cards and envelopes. These again, there were 50 in the pack. It's a UK company, great quality, and they just go on and on and on. So I'll move these things, as I said, and you will actually see from what I've just shown you what I've used within the project. So we'll start with the plaque. This actually came, this was one side of the plaque, and then the pink that I showed you here with the floral arrangement on it was the other side of the plaque. And what I've done is used the cutouts that came within the ephemera pack and just used them to decorate across and down the plaque. There's a polka dot aspect to the lower ones. I've used paper from the ephemera to make the 2 little flowers, flat back pearls from my own stash. The Friendship in Full Bloom was actually part of the wording that comes within the sticky label aspect of the ephemera. I took this little bit of lace from my stash, just put it around the outside of the plaque, a little bow again from my stash, and then the little bit of pink ribbon here that came from the ephemera pack, and I am absolutely delighted with this. I've actually used, for everything that I'm going to show you, very little to make up cards. In the main, it's just been flowers and a couple of flat back pearls. Everything else was in the ephemera pack, and I believe at $8.99 it is an absolute steal. BoBunny have really gone to town and made it very easy to use up the pack. I've not seen it anywhere else except Handy Hippo, and they do keep having their little flash sales with 10% off, 15% off. Do keep checking in to see what's available. They do have some wonderful stuff on the site. Here's one of the cards I made using a little bit of distress ink. I cut out the clock from this sheet, you'll see, and then put foam pads behind it, some gold corners, just the decorative peel off corners. I used some butterflies from a punch just to represent the passage of time, and this tiny little floral aspect here. I used the corner stamp because I loved that from the very beginning. I just thought that was really pretty and so effective. It stamps beautifully, it really did. I can't tell you, I'm absolutely delighted with this, and I hope you like it too. I'll leave that one there. Another card I made was this one. Now with this one I've employed the Sizzex embossing folder, and I've used this sleeve or belly band. You could turn it into a belly band to go around any of your projects, and it has come out absolutely beautiful, as I'm sure you can tell. The embossing is really proud. It lends itself beautifully just to being anchored to the card. I've used a little bit of mirror card, the ribbon that I talked about earlier, one of the satin flowers from the ephemera pack, and a button, to these two little flat back stickies that were part of the whole thing. I've put them away now, but that was them. And then used one of the sticky labels, again from the pack. I'm trying to show you what I've used, but I keep putting it down somewhere else, so I'm losing myself. We'll just carry on, but you saw it all in the beginning of the filming. And I've matted and layered because that is ultimately the way to go to make your card look textured and dimensional. I don't know if the camera will pick up. I've put the mirror card on using foam, double-sided foam tape to raise it. Again, I've used one of the sentiments from the sticky pack, and all in all I've made what I consider to be a very nice card there from the ephemera and the card I was provided with. Here is another card for everyone that has a passion for dogs or fluffy things. This is Furry Friends, and it is just a little Jack Russell puppy here. Again, I've matted and layered, used more of the paper stock from the ephemera pack. It's so hot here today with the using of the PVA glue. This is buckled a little bit, but it will settle. I've used 2 layers of the different satin roses, a little bit of the pink gross grain ribbon, and the little flower bit there, which I've actually placed on top of the button down in the corner of the card. But again, it's a card that I am really very pleased with. This ephemera pack just went on and on and on. I can't recommend it highly enough. Here is another card that I made. I've used the silk flower to form the base, dimensional rose there just to marry up all the colours. Never regret, live your dream is the sentiment in the corner of the card. I've used some crystal stickles just to emphasise the leaves and the flowers within the actual design of the paper that I selected, rounded the corners a little bit, and again it's very simple but very, very effective and easy to do. And the final one I did, is that my 5 cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, and the plaque. The final one I made again has used the Sizzex folder, which is this one. Can't recall the name. What's it called? Embossing folder. It's not really saying. Raspberry frame set. Raspberry frame set. This is how it comes presented in one of these cellophane envelope boxes. And you have, as I said in my first video, the main aspect of the embossing folder and 3 choices of extras for banding or belly bands. I've used one as I showed you on the card, and then these are the other 2. Very, very effective. You could use for a nameplate or just for a little border up through the edge of a card and then continue with your design work. But they are so, so versatile. Going back to this one, I've had a change of colouring and used the green gingham that was also in the ephemera, green paper and a base of designer paper here. I've used a punch just to make a centre flower, separated this up into 4 pieces like a little window, ruffled up the ribbon and just glued it down with some hot glue, distressed the label here which says A Garden of Friends, and then used the 4 flat back pearls to marry up the colour of that little banner. So all in all, I can say without fear of contradiction, this has been a really wonderful pack, and I can't recommend the BoBunny ephemera pack enough. It has more than enough in it to make very many more cards and very many more decorative pieces to add to my overall crafts. So I thank Handy Hippo very, very much for sending me this glorious design team package. Do check out Handy Hippo. It's www.handyhippocrafts.co.uk and just see what they have on offer. They have clearance, they have regular sales. All in all, it is the site where I would always go to look first for my crafting things, especially when they have such great offers. They have a clearance department and they have grab bags, all things there that, you know, the avid crafter might want to take advantage of. And there is also a newsletter. If you sign up to the site and leave your email address, you will be appraised of all these events before they actually become public, and it gives you time then to look at your stash and decide what you would like to buy or what you need. Thank you very much for sharing this with me. I hope you've enjoyed seeing what I made from the design team package. Thank you very much. Take care everyone. Happy crafting. Bye bye for now.